Welcome back. Today, let's dive into the world of NIO. We'll break down their recent earnings, address the concerns, and unveil an exciting upcoming release. Stick around as we explore NIO's journey, market dynamics, and the potential for a noteworthy turnaround. Let's get started. I'm going to break down what's going on with NIO, Tesla, SPY, the QQQ, and a couple of tickers out there. I'm going to break down what news came out with Apple that's going to help the market push, what happened with the NIO's earnings, and why it's not the end of the world for NIO. Because NIO has something big coming out that could still help it improve its share price. I'm also going to talk about why NIO was down only 1%. It wasn't really that horrible overall when it comes to its close, and why this company still has potential moving forward. Before I break anything down though anyways, let's talk about the market. How are things looking for NIO? So NIO was down 1.27%. Not that bad overall because NIO gapped down. Gap down came all the way down to 9.46 because earnings was a miss for them. But then it bounced right back up at the market and actually closed down only 1%. So what I've been discussing here is NIO is showing signs of strength in a way because it's trying to base. We also formed a bullish divergence on the RSI when we hit this low. So it's trying to base, it's trying to find its bottom. It hasn't really tanked so hard below $10 since, besides touching 9.5 after earnings after getting that sell-off reaction. Before getting bought right back up, the buyers are still stepping in and NIO was trying to base in the tent. It's pretty obvious. So the reason why this is important is because now that NIO is trying to find its bottom, it looks to me like very soon once it has deliveries come out. If deliveries are decent as long as they are, the overall market may help NIO pump to the upside a little bit. I'm going to break down exactly why that is. So why did the market pump today? SPY was up like over 1.4%. The QQQ was up about 2.18%. As you know, these things are just pumping today. The futures, the markets, the indices, they're pumping and pumping. And the big driver in this was Apple. Apple looks insanely bullish, and here's the reason why. So there is this news right here, that Apple has announced a new event for September 12th, and they may be launching the next iPhone at the event. Investors are so excited observing the chart. It's obvious we have this inverse head and shoulders right, a very nice looking structure, and we are slowly but surely getting closer to pumping to these higher levels. We have this unfilled gap to 190. It looks like Apple is curling. It's going to gap down tomorrow and start pushing and pushing, slowly start pushing for that 190 area and eventually go even higher than that and maybe just continue to pump. Approaching the big event, and we've got a daily bullish cross on the NACD when this happens. Apple tends to pump a lot. Historically, when the NACD crosses to bullish, we tend to see lots of upside, and Apple is doing that right now. So Apple's pumping, it's going to help the market pump. SPY is pumping. It's going to help other stocks out there pump. We have this unfilled gap all the way up to about 456. I think we're going to make our way up there. We could gap down tomorrow and just continue pushing. I think we're going to be making our way into the 450 very soon. We're looking more bullish than bearish in my opinion. The QQQ is no different. We have an unfilled gap all the way up to about 382 that might get filled, thanks to Apple. We have a cup and handle that formed. It looks more bullish. We got the confirmation today. We may gap down a little bit, cool off a little bit, and establish a higher low, then start pushing higher to fill the gap into the 370 right. The market is looking more bullish. Consider Tesla as an example. Notice how it's currently riding a powerful uptrend, a nice inverse head and shoulders like structure. Tesla is going to be on its way, in my opinion, to approaching these high levels up here into like the 260s very soon. Could gap down and retest like 250 and then try to bounce off that and start pushing and pushing all the way back up to about 268. I think that's very possible for the next week or so. I think Tesla looks bullish overall now. The only one that's kind of like slowing down a little bit is NIO. But the MACD is losing bearish momentum. The bearish momentum is getting slower, and this thing is getting ready for a bounce. We also have a bullish divergence that formed today. I think the market's going to help this thing drag up. and after deliveries there is potential for it to start pushing. Deliveries comes out in just a couple of days. I think by Friday it should be out, if not by like Saturday or so. But it's looking bullish. I think there's going to be a chance NIO is going to bounce very soon with the bullish divergence. It's been basing and consolidating for almost the entire last 2 weeks, was stuck in the 10, going back and forth and back as the buyers have been accumulating these shares. The moment it touched 9.5, the buyers came right back in, they pushed it back up. The buyers are present, they're trying to hold it up soon. It's going to bounce, it just needs some time. The market pumping should pump NIO as well back into the 11th in my opinion. I most definitely think it has a lot of potential to do so, so I'm still leaning more bullish on it for tomorrow specifically. However, this is a bullish daily candle, it might still gap down to the 10.5 area. Kind of like trade sideways here, then try to push up. I think we might get a green able to close, very close to 11. That is what I'm predicting for NIO. But overall, I'm saying that is because I still think it has a lot of potential. The reason why it came down was because of earnings. Earnings were not that great for them. They had a second quarter loss that was wider than expected amidst the slowdowns in China. The revenue was only about 1.21 billion versus what was expected 1.1 in USD. Basically, it was like closer to like 1.5 billion. They actually did a little bit less that, and then their adjusted loss per share was about $0.45 versus about something very different. This is all in yuan, which is pretty interesting. So the loss was worse than what we expected, unfortunately. So it is what it is. Even though that's the case, I still think this company has a lot of potential moving forward. They mentioned that the new version of the EASE 6 is going to be a big game changer for them, and they still have very strong potential for them moving forward. They mentioned that they expect solid growth, good deliveries for 2023. The second half of it they were weak for this latest quarter that just completed, but this quarter that's about to complete right now is going to get stronger. They also boosted their balance sheet for July, and I still believe in the potential that they have moving forward. So there's still potential in them. Are they a buy at $11? Well, if NIO drops more, I would say that this is a buying opportunity because I do believe for the second half, it has the potential to squeeze again. Now, with the margin slowing down, yes, that isn't as great, but what's good is their deliveries will keep going up over time and they could start to offset some of those damages. Now for tomorrow, specifically when it comes to data affecting the markets, we have some GDP numbers coming out an hour before the market opens and other factors like that. There's a chance the market could gap down tomorrow, then pump. It depends on the GDP numbers. I am leaning in that direction, but I still think there's more upside coming even for tomorrow. NIO's overall data, the short interest has been dropping on NIO. According to this, we saw a big drop in the short interest. The shorts are not necessarily attacking it very hard, and there's potential for NIO to try to base because of that. So for that reason, I do believe NIO is in the process of basing tomorrow. We may get a sideways, maybe a somewhat green day, but I do believe very soon it's going to base and start bouncing. The MACD, it's getting very close to curling. We're going to get a crossover, it's going to push into the 11 very soon. I think that for tomorrow, specifically, we may close just below 11. We may observe some basing, some sideways price action first, but eventually it's going to push up over the next couple of days. I really believe that, especially approaching its deliveries, I still think there's a lot of potential for it. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more stock predictions and market insights. Remember to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Happy investing, and see you in the next video.